Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Will and welcome to Copper Jacket TV. So if you're watching this video, you probably already know that California is the proving ground for new and extreme gun laws. And it's common knowledge that what happens in California tends to spread to the rest of the country. Well, if what just happened in California spreads this time, we won't have a Second Amendment anymore because Newsom, Mr. I respect the Second Amendment, just shredded the Constitution with a stroke of a pen as if the Bill of Rights didn't even exist. So let's talk about the huge new gun control package that he just signed into law. Now, real quick, if you want to stay on top of what's going on with your 2A rights in California and nationwide, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really helps us out quite a bit. That little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out. Thumbs ups are always appreciated, and make sure you leave a comment down below. Kind of helps the algorithm. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what's going on here. So just when you think things couldn't get any worse for the good, law-abiding people of California who actually believe in the Constitution, yesterday afternoon, the governor of California signed dozens of new bills into law. And as we take a look at this giant list, you might see several bills that you recognize, unfortunately. So yesterday he signed AB1027, which is better known as the Glock ban. He also signed SB704, which is the background checks on barrels bill. And he signed AB1078, which now limits Californians to 3 transactions per month. So now that these bills have been signed, let's go ahead and take a quick look at when each one will take effect and what we could do to stop them. And I guess the first thing we should do is take a look at the response that we got from the FPC, which has a long history of battling these unconstitutional laws in California. So in response to the governor signing AB 1127, the FPC released a statement where it says, Governor Newsom has once again proven that California's political class will stop at nothing to attack peaceable people and their rights. AB 1127 is an unconstitutional, bad faith attempt to outlaw some of the most common firearms in the United States. But no tyrant, no politician, and no state will ever be allowed to extinguish the rights of a free people. Not now, not ever. FPC and our legal team have been preparing a challenge to AB 1127 for months. We and our allies will move swiftly to strike down this unlawful and immoral ban in federal court. The Constitution, not Gavin Newsom, defines the limits of government power, and we will make sure he once more learns that lesson. Now, I've seen statements from multiple 2A orgs pretty much saying the same thing, so we know that the lawsuits are going to start flying, which is great, but we also know that lawsuits in California can take up to a decade unless we're lucky enough to get like an early injunction that holds up, which is also rare thanks to the Ninth Circus. So now let's talk about dates. When does all this nonsense take effect? Well, let's start with AB 1127. This bill bans an entire category of handgun in California. That means it's going to be off the roster. It's going to be gone altogether. Once this takes effect, you will no longer be able to get them. AB 1127 will take effect in less than a year, so we really don't have much time with this one. The date that it begins is July 1st of 2026. Now, keep in mind that this does not affect law enforcement or several other preferred groups. This affects you. This is what they want. This is the way that it was designed. It's essentially a huge gun grab that affects future generations of Californians. Now let's take a look at AB 1078, which again puts new purchase limits on Californians, which will now be 3 per month. Just like the others, this one is completely unconstitutional. So much so that even the liberal Ninth Circuit agreed and recently struck down the 1 a month law. So AB 1078 is also set to take effect in less than a year. But this one comes even sooner than 1127. This one takes effect on April 1st of 2026. So not that long from now. Now, the last one we're going to take a look at here is SB704. SB704 is the background checks on barrels bill. This is the bill that's going to force you to go through an eligibility check at an FFL just for a barrel. Now, this one doesn't start for a while. This one's going to take effect on July 1st of 2027. So those are the dates that we need to look out for. Now, what's interesting here is that when Newsom signs bills like these, he typically makes a big event, a big spectacle out of it, where they parade out Mom's Demand in every town. And, he talks about how this is, quote, going to make California safer. But he didn't do that this time, which leads me to believe that this is probably to do with his, potential presidential run. He doesn't want videos showing the signing of these latest bills. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking, because to my knowledge, he has never once vetoed a bill like this. Doesn't matter how bad it is, doesn't matter how unconstitutional it is, he has signed every one of these that has ever made it up to his desk. Now, I'm not sponsored by any of the 2A orgs, so I don't think this is me throwing out an ad, but I think the best way that we can fight back against bills that have already been signed is simply by joining the groups that best suit you. In California, think of the CRPA, the GOC, Gun Owners of California. Think about the FPC, which has played a big role in California, or the 2AF, or even the GOA. There's a lot of great groups out there that are going to be fighting on your behalf to try and stop these things. And so it's best to do your research and find out which one best fits you. But I would try and find a local org that I think is going to step up here. We already know the FPC is going to be in there, and several others. So I think that's probably the best way that you can personally get involved in these in the future, because again, he signed them. He doesn't even care anymore. It's all behind him. He didn't care when he signed it. But I still wanted to let you guys know that. I wanted to let you know what was going on. And I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out here quite a bit. And you all have a great day.